I hate to say it, but I understand Washington, D.C. and the way this government works better than anyone, and that includes Rush Limbaugh. As predicted, the Republicans have lost 2 seats in Georgia. There's no way that Sonny Perdue, or whatever the heck his name is, I don't even remember, and nor does it matter at this point because he's history, is going to win, because the votes that are still not counted are in the Atlanta region. That being said, the American people now can see it clearly. The Republican Party, which has never stood for you, the people, it stands for itself, that establishment. And that, of course, includes the 600 plus judges that corrupt majority leader, soon to be minority leader, Mitch McConnell, brags about. In my book, It Takes a Revolution, I talk about the Trump judges. They're less than worthless. They have no courage. They're rubber stamps for the establishment. But now we know that the Republican Party is formally dead. Let me say it again, dead. They have never stood up for us, the American people. And now we have the radical left in total control of our so-called government, which is no government at all. The Inquisition, the purge, will begin shortly, on or about January 20th. You're going to see radicals of all groups, radical Muslims, radical Jews of the Marxian left, radical feminists, radical atheists, radical gays, lesbians, and transgenders, radical blacks, of all stripes. They don't even represent the majority of the people in those groups, but those groups are apathetic by and large. And I might say, with regard to my own group, Jewish people and a Jewish Christian, those leftist Marxian Jews do not represent the American people. But we can see John Ossoff, who was just elected in Georgia, he's one of those leftist Jews of the Marxian left. And they're now in control, just like Marx was in control, just like Trotsky was in control, just like others were in control. And backing them are people like George Soros, a self-hating Jew who confiscated property from his own people, going to gas chambers and ovens in World War II. Now, the Jewish people are good people. And in fact, Jesus was a Jewish rabbi. Most Jews are not that way. But I take special offense because I see the infiltration of these Marxians throughout society and throughout our country. And it's radicals of the other groups as well. And we can see what's also going on with regard to the march in Washington today. The march in Washington today is not as many people, of course, as predicted, probably the cold weather. People don't have the same degree of courage that they had back in 1776. We have to give them courage. This march was not a be-all and end-all, and the dog and pony show that's going to go on for the time being in the Republican-controlled Senate is frankly a joke. They're just trying to take the monkey off their back, the Republican establishment, for not standing up to President Trump or for the American people in general. But let's be candid. President Trump in 48 hours will be history. And we now need to rise up. We don't have even allies in the Republican Party, not that there really are any, that will have any power. We, the American people, need to stand up. And we can see, ironically, with regard to the one senator who really is vociferously objecting to the massive fraud that occurred in the presidential election, Josh Hawley, that his own house was attacked, allegedly by Antifa. But, it's not just Antifa, it's all the radicals. And months ago, I'd say about a month ago, on the lawns of people in Beverly Hills were these radicals wearing T-shirts, "Eat the Rich," like they're Jeffrey Dahmer, kill the rich. Well, it's not just a question of killing the rich. It's killing anyone who opposes them. So here we are. We're at a crossroads, and that's why I wrote the book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. Yours truly, Larry Klayman, saw it all coming. Rush Limbaugh didn't even see it all coming. I'm not trying to promote me, and I'm not trying to promote Freedom Watch. I'm trying to promote the United States of America as we knew it. But as of today, it is no longer the United States as we knew it. And that's why we're not going to have to go to Plan B. which is citizens' grand juries, which we're going to hold the guilty accountable, citizens' indictments, citizens' trials, citizens' sentences, citizens' arrests, peacefully and legally. We will attempt that before all hell breaks loose, and we trust that it will not. And we're going to need to form a new government. Let's be clear about it. A new government. So in the next few months, we're going to convene a Continental Congress in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, my birthplace, the birthplace of liberty. And we're going to have experts and patriots from all corners of this country, just like we did in the first and second Continental Congresses, where we formed a new nation. It was the Second Continental Congress that gave rise to the Declaration of Independence. When in the course of human events, the government no longer represents the people, under the laws of nature and the laws of God, we have a right to alter or abolish that government and to form a new government for the people with equal rights in pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness. That's a paraphrase. The original document is much more eloquent, written by Thomas Jefferson, who I dedicated my book to. It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry, which you can get at Amazon.com and all major booksellers online. But we need a new government, and we're going to need to nominate a potential leader, and we're going to have to start our own elections that'll be free and fair, without fraud, for a Congress. And also, we're going to have to come up with a mechanism to have a Supreme Court and lower court judges who aren't corrupted with money, because right now, the way they get their job is money. Money talks, nobody walks. Political campaign contributions, other gratuities that we don't know of. And you can see what happened with Trump's judges. They're worthless. They're zero. They aren't worth, excuse the French, S-H-I-T. And you can read about that in my book, It Takes a Revolution. Even Trump's own Supreme Court justices threw him overboard because they want to be part of the Washington establishment cesspool. I call it that rather than a swamp. So that's where we are today. Let's face reality. Appreciate today, because tomorrow is going to be even worse. And tomorrow, the Inquisition begins. So join Freedom Watch's Justice League. We are unafraid. Read my book, It Takes a Revolution. Forget the scandal industry. Turn off Hannity on Fox News. Complete garbage every single night. Garbage. Don't waste your time. We need to build a new country right now. We need to save the vision and creation of our founding fathers. We are under attack. Let there be no mistake about it. And in self-defense, exercise your Second Amendment rights, because they're coming for you, just like they came for Josh Hawley, for citizens of Beverly Hills, throughout this country. They now think they have free reign. And make no mistake about it, they'll never give power back again. Never. Forget about even fraudulent elections. They'll use force. So get ready, fellow patriots. We are in a dire strait, and we need to wage revolution peacefully and legally. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Until then, reflect, pray, and get ready, because if you don't act, this country is totally gone. Thank you for listening to me.